I don't think I need to be particularly, let's say, verbose when I mention the fact that Big Pharma is not our friend. I don't think I need to mention that or go on and on and on about this. A pill for every ailment, even when the ailment is absolutely solvable by things that don't need pills. We saw this with antidepressants. We see now the study that the whole dopamine problem that required the dopamine or serotonin problem with the serotonin reuptake inhibitors, that whole thing, that didn't happen. There was no serotonin imbalance that they knew about. That was all faked. But we've got all these antidepressants that now people are munching on, and by some measures, it's about a third of the country taking these things. And when you're altering your brain chemistry in that way, don't be shocked when it has adverse events, or sometimes, as is the case with most of the antidepressants, are wildly addictive, sometimes worse than fentanyl. Ask the people who are trying to come off of them, like my daughter. Yeah, I'm guilty. I fell for this. There is a new pill that pharma is pushing. They're trying to get this into the hands of kids and into Medicare and Medicaid. No, it's not the one you've heard about. It's the one you've not heard about. This comes from unheard.com, and it's a pill that will make sure that you never need to do something that you should never, ever do. I'll tell you about it in a second. The things that you should always do are be very, very careful about what you put on your body and the companies you trust with the items on which you put your body. For instance, you've probably for decades, maybe 50 years, gone and purchased the same soap, and you've long ago stopped thinking about it. It's just like when you go into a restaurant and you say, Diet Coke, please. They go, is Pepsi okay? Yeah, Pepsi's okay. You don't really mean it, but you just spurt it out. You walk into the grocery store or the drugstore, wherever you buy your soap, you pick it up, you put it in the thing, you don't care because it's just soap. Well, what if it's not just soap? What if you could instead have soap arrive at your house that every time you get through a bar, there's a company closer to hiring young people who are impacted by autism, Down syndrome, because they're not welcome in America's workplaces. So young Alan is 13. He's been through 18 operations. He is effectively nonverbal because of his placement on the autism spectrum. He is the chief soap officer who invents many of the fragrances, or prefer, if you like, you can get the fragrance free. He works there every day. Now his brother Ian works there. That's 2. Another young woman now has come to work there. That's 3. These are people that the rest of the world would say, they're not useful. Just store them in a box. The other option is to continue to buy soap from big companies that probably use slave labor or probably using ingredients that don't belong on your skin versus Allen Soaps, which is all natural, made in America by a family with 3 generations of soap making expertise. I think the choice is rather stark. So make the decision now. Type in allensoaps.com/Todd, get 10% off all their products there, and prove that to you all lives matter. Unheard News, great website, unheard.com, reports that researchers in Denmark claim they've developed a new drug that mimics the benefits of running. Get the joke? I mean, no, it's a real news article. Currently known as Lake, L-A-K-E, the molecule has been shown in lab rats to flush toxins and strengthen the heart. Speaking to the New York Post, lead chemist on the project, Thomas Poulsen, hailed its potential for those who desire the benefits of exercise but have injuries or a weak heart. Is it good? If it happens, I'll follow the Ozempic trajectory in which we develop an even greater range of pills designed to, quote, optimize ourselves without effort. But doing so risks not just leaving ourselves politically and economically on the back foot, but also embracing an impoverished moral picture of ourselves with side effects potentially far more consequential than just not going running. Look, there is a fact of life. There are some people who can't run. You know what they can do? They can get in a pool. There's a guy I know who's been through, massive sets of surgeries. He served our country in a whole bunch of war efforts. His brother's a SEAL. He was Special Forces. I met him at my pool in where I work out on the weekdays, or probably the weekends. And I saw him in there moving his arms, jumping around, running through the water. And I knew right away, okay, dude is trying to stay fit. Something bad happened to him. He and I got to visiting. He's going in for shoulder and hip surgery. And when I saw him out of the water, I saw, wow, you've been shot a bunch of times. Yeah, I've been shot like 5 times. So he can't run anymore. So he's in the water to have low impact. And by the way, if you've never sprinted back and forth in a pool, that's hard work. It'll get the heart rate up. You know what else it does? It helps the core. You know what else it does? It helps the mind. You can't have a pill that mimics the effects of exercise. You can't have a pill that mimics running through the environment God created. You can't have a pill that mimics the sweat coming out of your body. You can't have a pill that mimics the endorphin creation at the right amounts to help conquer pain. You can't have a pill that mimics exercising with a friend. You can't have a pill that mimics setting a goal. I'm going to run a 10-minute mile. Good for you. That's not that great a time. Yeah, but I can't run 15 now. Then you run 10, then it's 9, and then it's 8. And one day you run 7. You turn around and you run 6. One day you go, I ran a 5-minute mile. I can't even believe it. You can't create a pill that mimics that. I can't tell you how many people I've run into when they see me working out. And this saddens me, and sometimes it amuses me. There was a guy he was visiting one of our neighbors up the street from us, and I did this kind of intense workout on a hot day. It was like 101 degrees, and I took out a 150-pound sled. I put the straps around my body, and I was carrying 2 50-pound kettlebells. So the rule was anytime I stopped moving, I had to take the strap off and then do thrusters with the kettlebells. It's just like a front squat all the way down, come up, and press the kettlebells up. It's hard. I had to do 10 of those. Eventually, I couldn't do those anymore, so I changed the rules. Now it was push-ups. It's 1.5 miles pulling that stupid sled, and I hated myself. I hated myself. Self, you're a fool. But when I neared my house and I started to go back hill and I saw it in sight, something changed biochemically. All of a sudden, I was back to the thrusters. All of a sudden, I could pull the sled more quickly. All of a sudden, I could almost sprint up to the stopping point and did. And then I looked back and looked at my watch and saw how many calories I'd burned and that I completed it, and I felt great. I set a goal. I completed it, even though I had to alter the goal to doing push-ups sometimes. I was feeling great. The endorphin lift, the core hit, the sweat, the sun, the vitamin D. And then a dude came down the street. I don't body shame. I used to weigh 400 pounds myself, near to that, and an untrained man, not physically well. I am not shaming or judging. Everybody's somewhere. He came up to me and goes, wow, did you pull that all the way around? Yeah, it's a hard workout, man. How much are those things? Oh, these are kettlebells. Each of these weighs 50 pounds. Wow. Hey, let me ask you a question. I really, really need to get into shape. Like, I used to be in good shape. I really need to get into shape. How much creatine do you use? What? Well, you're obviously using creatine. How much do you use? Right now, I'm on a 30-gram schedule, 15 in the morning, 15 at night. Is that a lot? By some measures. What do you do for fitness right now? Well, I'm just getting started. But I was just watching what you're doing, and I got to get down to GNC. Is that where you buy your creatine? No. I buy it online. All right, well, I got to get started. I'm going to buy some creatine. Sweet. The creatine's not going to do it. It's the hard work that's going to do it. See, Pharma doesn't care. Look at the 200 hospitals that have provided irreversible, quote, care to little kids. I'll talk extensively about this study on my Substack channel. This is a platform where we go across the audio platforms, iTunes, Spotify. They're cool, but we also put this on YouTube. Their platform, their rules. They're publishers, not a platform. They don't welcome a full look into this. That's cool. Their property. It's the ToddHermanShow.substack.com, our full free speech platform.